Well, hello, this is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries, and thanks for selecting this video, which has everything to do with animating models. Now, NX has a tool which is called Animation Designer, which is superb, Animation Designer, but Animation Designer doesn't necessarily let you animate the changing of an actual solid model. So when you go into Animation Designer, here we go, you can define rigid groups and you can define joints and gears, etc. But there's no ability for you to change the actual shape of an individual model. So the animation that I'm talking about is the animation of, let's say, the water or a water line or a level of fluid going up in a vessel. And in order to do that, you've got to do some special things. And here they are. If I go to Control E, you'll see that I have defined a variable called frame number. This is a very special variable, frame number, that interacts with the visualization animation that has been in NX for a very long time. In this model also I have the variable h, and h controls the height of the water level, if you will, in this part file. So if I put, let's say 100 in frame number, you'll see the h is equal to 0.1 plus frame number divided by 10. So that means the water level will go up by 10 inches, 0.1. There you go. So what I'm doing is I'm controlling the water line because I made a model of the interior surfaces of this vessel, and then I put a datum plane there. There it is, and I'm controlling that with the variable h, and then I'm controlling the variable h with this frame number variable. Okay, so that's simple so far. Now, once I have a model where I can control this geometry, I then go into this kind of animation that very few people seem to know about, but it's incredibly powerful. So I go to Menu, View, Visualization, and Create Animation, just like that. The very first thing I do is I go to Parameters, and in Parameters I set the parameters of the animation that I'm doing. I like to do the MPEG-2 user-defined resolution. So I've got 1024 by 768. I've got an aspect ratio of 1:1, frame rate of 30 FPS, and image quality best. And what I can do here is click on the animation file name, and I can type in a file name for the animation. In this case, I'm going to call it Steve, and I'm going to do a MPEG file. Okay, and it's funny, if I don't name it correctly, if I don't put the MPEG on the end, it seems not to work. It might be something I'm doing incorrectly, but there you have it. I've got that in there. Next I say OK. And next I go and start creating keyframes. Now I'm going to click on keyframe here. And I've done this before, so I'm deleting what was there before, so we're doing it from scratch, okay? I always need a frame 0, and now I'm going to do a frame B. And the frame B is going to have a number of steps, in this case 120, because the vessel is 12 inches high. So 120 steps with a blend factor of 1. And what I do is I hit Add Copy. So there's that. And I say OK. Great. Now I'm ready to generate the animation. So I simply click on Generate Animation, and there it is. It's going to start at 0. It's going to go to 119. Therefore, that's 120 steps. And this is going to be a little bit tedious. I'm just going to select OK, and it's going to start generating the different frames. And this is going to take a while. It's going to take, 120 times each one of these little blinks. So I'll kind of cut some of the time out of this video so it'll be faster. And at the end of the video, I'll show you the final product is a beautiful video of the water line gradually increasing in this bleach bottle. See, we're up to about 30 frames, so we're about a quarter done. We're up to 60 frames, and so we're half done. We're up to about 100 frames, so we're 3/4 done. And the frames are finished generating. Now we can preview the animation. And there it goes. It's showing us each and every frame, so it's still not as fluid as the actual file that it's creating, but at least it shows you in a much quicker way what the animation is going to look like. It goes through, it shows you which frame it's on. For some reason it's hanging at 26. I don't know why, but I'm sure in just a few seconds, there it goes, 27. I guess 26 is where the two pieces of the solid bifurcated in that little handle, so now it's simpler. So it's interesting how it had a little pause there. I bet you it'll pause again when it gets to the kind of top of this space. A little bit more complex geometry. But this is the preview. And you can see what this thing does. It's still showing you the actual solid model operations that go along with every single step. So this is also kind of slow. And just as I thought, it's kind of pausing and thinking about what happens when it gets to this little spot right here where the two streams sort of come together again. Having it's a little bit more complex geometry. I guess there's some blends in there. And then one of the blends has to go away, I guess. So that's interesting. And now it's back and it's figured out what to do. And it's going to get to the end. So this is definitely more complex in a way because it's changing the actual solid model. So that's great. Okay, so now what that has done is produced a file. And the file, of course, we named. So let me bring up the file and see what it looks like when we run it smoothly. And that would be B3. Let's double click on that and get the animation working. Here we go. Oh yeah, that looks good. I'll move that into view. Let's do this. Okay, let's put that over here. Okay. So that's what the file looks like. That's the one that you send to the client or what have you. I'll play it again. Here we go. It looks smooth, and there you have it. That is incredibly powerful. If we wanted to slow it down, we would have given it more steps. We'd have to give it, 240 steps and work on the expressions so that each step was a smaller portion of what was going on. So there you have it. So with this ability, you can actually change a solid that is controlled by some expression. And again, if you want to know, you go into the expressions editor, and here's frame number at 119, and here's H controlled by frame number. And like I said, if we wanted to make it go slower, we would put H divided by 20, and we go up to frame number of 240. So there you have it, a very, very powerful animation tool. It's been in NX for a very long time. Very few people know about it. it goes above and beyond to some degree the animation designer, and you can use the same technique with assemblies, and so you could make machines actually work according to driven expression as well. So thank you for watching this video. It's an incredibly powerful tool. And of course, my name again is Steve Samuel of Design Visionaries. If you want to call us for training or specific animation services or modeling or prototypes, we are just in love with this technology. We've got a huge passion for it. And thanks for watching.